Hello Earthlings, today I'm gonna show you guys how to play, optimize, and run Princess Peach Showtime, a Switch game, into your PC. So if you're interested in this, then watch this guide, okay? So first of all you need is that you need to have a copy of all the 3 files that I've highlighted here in my desktop. It's really important to get them. You will also need to install an application called Ryujinx, and for those who do not know what is Ryujinx emulator, Ryujinx emulator is a Nintendo Switch emulator. It can play any Switch games in your PC as long as you have all of those files here installed in Ryujinx emulator. So first of all, I'm going to teach you where to get Ryujinx emulator officially, and to do this is just you need to open a web browser and just type in Ryujinx emulator in Google search and hit search, and the first result would be the official site, which is ryujinx.org. Click on that, and then the next step to do is just click on the Get Started button here, and you can now choose on which device you want to install Ryujinx emulator. You can download the Linux version here. For Mac OS version, you will need to have a Mac OS 12 or later version to install Ryujinx emulator, and for those who are in Windows, it is required that you have Windows 10 or 11. I am in Windows 11 and I have already installed Ryujinx emulator, so I'm just gonna skip on this part because the download and installation process for this is really easy to do and it's really straightforward. So go ahead, click on it and download it now. So I'm just gonna minimize this and I'm just gonna assume that you have already downloaded Ryujinx emulator. So as I'm recording this video tutorial, the latest build is version 1.11221. So Ryujinx emulator is useless. It cannot play any Switch games without this file. So what are these files? These files are the Nintendo Switch keys and the Nintendo Switch firmware. We will need to install this in order for it to run Switch games. And also, having this version, it will be able to detect and play Princess Peach Showtime. And the game should be in XCI or NSB file format so that Ryujinx will be able to boot up and play this game. Now, if you're asking me on how to get all of these files, the most legal way to do this is that you own a Nintendo Switch console which have been modded and have installed a custom firmware. Basically, you will need a Nintendo Switch which is in homebrew because it will have access on the Nintendo Switch keys, the Nintendo Switch firmware files, the system files overall of the Switch. And once you have done that, all you have to do is look for the files and then transfer them into your PC. Now, in order for you to get a game, there's no other way around this, by the way. You should own the game legally. Buy it, support the developers, buy a physical copy wherein you have bought it from a physical store or in a digital store, which is eShop. And once you have done that, you can now digitally back up that game into an XCI or NSB file format, just like right here. So for those who want to try out and play these games but don't know where to get all these files, all you have to do, guys, is just to scan this QR code here that I have put in the screen into your mobile phone. Scan it with your QR code reader, and once you have scanned it, you'll be redirected to the page wherein you can get a copy of these files. So once you're on the site, be sure to check out the entirety of the website, and then all you have to do is just transfer them into your PC and we'll be able to install them at Ryujinx emulator. So I'm just going to assume that you have already done that. So I'm just going to skip on that part and I'm just going to assume that you have put it somewhere into your PC. Mine, I have put it into my desktop here for you to see clearly. Now, open Ryujinx emulator now. It's time to install these files. Now go to File, go to Open Ryujinx folder, and then look for System folder. Open that folder and then open the keys zip file in the desktop. Then all you have to do is drag and drop and copy and paste the product keys and title keys inside. And if this is your first installation, then this folder should be empty. Once done, close this. Now, the next step is to install the firmware file of the Switch. And to do this, just go to Tools, go to Install Firmware, install a firmware from XCI or zip file, click on that, and then locate on the firmware file, and then hit open. And we'll say that we'll have to install this firmware version, and we're gonna hit yes, and we'll say here successfully installed version 17.0.1. Hit OK. And you will see here right below that it's a system version 17.0.1, the same as the keys and the firmware version. So also you will know the installation is successful because your Switch games will be detected and their game icons will be shown soon. So if there is a game that doesn't have a game icon, that means that you're using an outdated firmware or an outdated key. So be sure to follow the QR code so that you'll only get the latest files to play Princess Peach Showtime. Now, the next step is to optimize your Ryujinx emulator so that there'll be no drifting into your playthroughs, no crashes, black screens, graphical glitches, or control issues. And to do that, just go to Options, go to Settings. And in this part, just be sure to pause the video and copy every setting that you see here, okay? So these are my settings for the general tab, so be sure to copy them. In the game directories, this is wherein you will put your Switch games. It could be anywhere into your PC, so be sure to set it up here. And once done, go to Input, and I have selected Nintendo Switch Pro Controller here as my controller because it's better to use a controller rather than a mouse and keyboard when playing Switch games. So if you have an Xbox or PlayStation controller, connect them into your PC, map them up according to liking, but the dead zone for both left and right sticks, as you can see here, the dead zone here, should be set in 0.20 or 20% so that there'll be no drifting into your playthroughs, because by default the setting here is 0.10, so that will cause some issues in some drifting issues, so be sure to change that in 0.20. And once you have done that, then go to keyboard and hotkeys. The settings here are default, so I'm going to move to system. The core section you can change to whatever region, language, system, time zone, and system time. Dates here you can change this to whatever you like, because some games you will need to change dates and times, such as Animal Crossing New Horizons. You can do that here. In CPU, really simple settings, so be sure to copy that. In graphics, the most important part of the setting here, so be sure to copy everything. So graphics backend is in Vulkan API. Preferred GPU, your dedicated graphics card, so follow the checkboxes here. My resolution scale is set in 20% so that there'll be no drifting. Set in 2%, by the way. I'm sorry about that. So it'll be set in 2% so that it'd be in 1440p resolution scale, just like the same as my monitor, and it will also make the game look much sharper and much more beautiful than the native resolution of the Switch. But if your PC cannot handle that, then just revert back into the native resolution here. But for me, 2x solution is the best. So I'm gonna move to audio now. Really simple settings, so be sure to copy that. And if you want to play online, you can do that in the network settings, so be sure to copy the simple settings here. And once you've done that, hit apply and hit OK. Congratulations, your Ryujinx emulator is now fully optimized to run and play any Switch games such as Princess Peach Showtime. So a little bit of disclaimer, I will not be able to show you guys a gameplay of Princess Peach Showtime because we all know how strict Nintendo is and how bad they are in this kind of content. And as you have seen lately, that Yuzu emulator has been taken down by Nintendo, and they have settled with Nintendo and all of their sites. Yuzu and Citra has been taken down, so I don't want that to happen into my YouTube channel, so I hope you guys do understand on that part. That's why I can't show you any gameplay at all. So I'm just gonna minimize this, but as long as you have followed all the steps that I've shown you guys, you'll be able to play Princess Peach Showtime into your PC using Ryujinx application. You'll be able to run it smoothly, run it perfectly with no issues at all. So if you have some questions regarding the installation process of this game, then just leave a comment in the comment section below, and I'll try my best to answer all of them as fast as I can. Thank you for watching, see you next time, and goodbye for now.